My name is Roland Schlott. I'm the head of the humanitarian team for CBM International. CBM has a tradition to work in emergencies, especially in relation to the aspects of inclusion. We address the specific needs of people with disabilities in emergency situations, and emergency situations here are not only situations that are related to natural phenomena like storms or typhoons, cyclones, tsunamis, droughts or floods or earthquakes, but they can also be related to conflict and displacement, forced displacement. And we address the specific needs of people with disability. In these situations, we recognize the fact that very often they are among the poorest and most vulnerable sections of society. The Ukraine and the neighboring countries have not been part of the CBM countries of operations before the conflict started on the 24th of February this year. But we are part of a network and an alliance of organizations, like-minded organizations that have raised funding for this situation, and the public has been particularly generous in this conflict setting. We also know that in conflict, people with disabilities are particularly vulnerable and affected by the conflict now. And especially in Eastern Europe and in Ukraine, many of the people with disabilities, especially mentally disabled people, are institutionalized, are living in institutions where they are staying and where they are facing very difficult situations. We have therefore started to work together with a European Disability Forum. That is an umbrella organization of organizations for people with disabilities inside Ukraine, but also in the neighboring countries, especially in Poland and in Slovakia, in Moldavia as well. And we are addressing the needs of the people in institutions, especially through psychosocial support, but also through relief items, hands-on, concrete food and relief items that are being put at the disposal of the people with disabilities especially. I think we have seen in the media the fact that many of the countries in the global south and in the Middle East particularly, but also in North Africa, in the Horn of Africa, are heavily dependent on imports of food grain, especially wheat, but also maize that comes from Ukraine, which is a major exporter on the global scale. An indirect effect clearly are rising prices, and that means that in addition to the physical availability, it is also a question of economic access to funding, which is in decline, and the poorest and most marginalized, including people with disabilities, will suffer most as a consequence of that. So a way of addressing this is to look into possibilities to increase food production in other parts of the world, but especially in those that are where food deficits are a common appearance. So we need to continue working on resilience and food security.